Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome into the stream. Glad you could make it. We are in a very strange spot for tonight's stream. We're actually going to be working on the layout tonight, but we've got to stall for just a couple of minutes because I've actually still got some paint drying on the other side of the workbench. So we're gonna do some unboxing real quick. We got some mail call stuff, and we'll kind of go from there. I'm gonna try to be careful to keep you guys in stream or in frame, excuse me, because this is not a great angle, but hopefully we can do this. Hope everybody's doing well out there. Actually, you know what? Really quickly, before we get into the stream ad nauseum tonight, I have to say something, and that is a very big congratulations to Mr. Dennis Colucci. He was the recipient of a very special award at the Northeast Region Convention yesterday at the awards breakfast. Forgive me, I forgot the official name of the award, but essentially it goes out to an individual that inspires younger people to be a part of the hobby, and I couldn't think of somebody more well-deserving than Dennis to win the award. Hopefully he talks about it tonight on his stream. Incredibly well-deserved, so congratulations to you, Dennis. Very, very overjoyed when they called your name to go up there. That was really cool. But anyway, we've got some unboxing to do. I'm just scrambling really quickly because I thought I had covered up all of the labels on this box, and I did not. So hang on one second here. Oh dear. One second, guys. Let's see. There we go. Hopefully now this label is dox-proof. But anyway, I hope everybody out there is doing well. Let me just take a peruse through the chat here and say hi to everybody. Looks like we got Adam, we got Heath, we got Garrett, we've got Rick, we've got Larry, we have Adam, Scott, welcome in, Denny's here, Dennis is here, of course, and did I give her, oh, Ted's out there. Hey Ted, hope you had a good time at Marpham. I know Rick was down there as well, and he had an absolute blast. So hopefully that means you did as well. I, of course, was at the Northeast Region NMRA convention, so I didn't get to catch your live stream, but I may go back and watch that later. Okay, so what is this first box? It's an air conditioner. Can't you tell by the hose? No. I'm not going to get this all the way out of the box, but this is a brand new vented paint booth. I decided it was time to bite the bullet and actually get a properly vented paint booth. I've just been using this like kind of pop-up tent, and I only recently actually got a respirator as well. I've been cheating death for far too long, so I am now making sure that I treat my lungs and my body now that I've turned the ripe old age of 30 the right way. So I got myself a nice vented paint booth. You're not gonna be able to see anything, but it's a dual fan model. It's got an LED light bar in the top of it so that you can see what you're working on. And I've still got a little bit of work to do to get it set up, but my intention is to have it set up prior to doing any more painting. So exciting stuff there, that's for sure. Now, what else do we have? Glad to hear about Marpham. If it, hopefully, it shouldn't be the same weekend as the Northeast Region Convention next year, because the Northeast Region Convention is going to be in mid-October. So maybe I'll be able to get down to it. Probably, I would say probably in. Oh shoot! I just completely broke a caboose throw. Oh, well, that sucks. All right. So here is the next thing that's fun. We've got another Exact Rail Western Pacific Magor 4750. This is the base that I'm using for all of my, well, most of my salt car freelance fleet. So I picked up one more of these. The next few that I pick up are actually going to end up being finished cars and then traded, but out of convenience, since it's right here behind me, this is essentially what it'll end up looking like when it's done. You can see GWTX reporting marks, the freelance logo, a plate on the New York Central cigar band on the top corner there, and then some gray, or some eerie gray-green graffiti patch outs, and then of course that awesome Circa logo, which is going to be standard on all of my freight cars as a founding member of Circa. We are incredibly close to being able to offer a publicly available set of decals for Circa. I need to actually follow up with Joey and John about that, see what happened over the weekend while I was gone, and we'll see how soon we have a set ready to go. Hey, BN Ironwood, welcome into you as well. Let's keep on going. Oh, Banu's here too. Hey, Banu, welcome in. All right. So this package actually kind of continues on Paul works in a safer environment theme. This is a smoke absorber for a soldering iron. It's supposed to be small enough that I should be able to lay it flat underneath my under my workbench. Oh, perfect. There's filters for it and everything. So I should be able to lay this flat underneath my workbench and have it absorb some of the smoke when I'm soldering. But again, you know, I finally came to the decision that it was time to start not just investing money in trains and you know, the layout itself, but also in keeping myself as healthy as I can. So lots of new safety equipment on the way today. Okay, this one should be the most fun of all of the packages. And before I open it, just want to be clear that I am not in any way sort of trying to be self-promoting here. I got this stuff because I think it's fun, and I don't need your money. But I do have some of this stuff for sale as well. But I picked up a couple of samples of some of my merchandise. So this is the Genesee Wyoming Transportation t-shirt that I just picked up for myself. It is a sample, and I'm pretty happy with the way it turned out. I might need to contact them and give them some guff about that, but just the logo is not printed on there squarely, it looks like. But the nice thing about Spreadshop is that they accept returns pretty easily, so that's good stuff. And then here's the thing I was most excited for, which I shouldn't be opening down in the basement because it's dangerous. But I got a crew neck with the Not Graffiti logo on it, which is pretty awesome. That is, of course, as some of you might know, my local tagger to the Genesee and Wyoming Finger Lakes. Oh, come on. Why am I frozen? You gotta be kidding me. Can you guys still hear me? Okay, let's try this again. I'm sorry, guys. I've got the chat up on my phone, and YouTube does this stupid thing now where it puts ads up over top of the chat when you're using it on your phone. So I didn't see anybody's messages there for a minute. Hopefully we're good now. Looks like I've got the stream pulled up and I'm good. Oh man. Okay, well, hopefully it stays good, because the way I've got the stream set up for tonight, it's gonna be, I'm gonna have the laptop on the opposite side of the layout from where I'm working. But here we go. Here is the shirt I was talking about. Pretty happy with it. Might have to go back to Spreadshop and say, hey, what gives? Why did you print it not that square? But like I said, you know, it is what it is with that. I can give them some guff and see if they'll fix it. And then this is the crew neck that I got. It just says Not Graffiti on it. I thought that was a pretty good looking crew neck. The challenge is going to be keeping it clean. So we'll see how well that works. But yeah, pretty cool stuff. Ordered as samples. Might have to do some contacting of Spreadshop to make sure that things don't get printed like that for everybody else, though, because not cool to have that Genesee, Wyoming transportation logo like that. But anyway, that is it for the mail call. Let's see what we can do about getting you guys over on the other side for the rest of the evening. I've also got to now remember to go out and buy a new caboose industry throw, of course, because of course I busted that one. Bummer. All right, so I've got you guys rotated around here to the other side now. Let me pick up the chat and bring it with me. Yeah, use it as my smock. But then what will I do with my Starbucks apron, Dennis? All right, so let me get this fan turned off. Otherwise, that's all you guys will hear tonight as I'm working. And as I'm looking around, it does look like, thankfully, most of the paint has dried, which is good news. So last night I got all of the cork down, or at least like 90% of the cork down that I should need. I still have to do a little bit of finagling to get everything situated in this area of the layout. That's kind of a little bit off camera for you guys, I believe. This is where the warehouse track's going to kind of come in and kind of hide into the backdrop a little bit, I think, but I'm not 100% sure there. And then the main line will still be kind of right up here, leading into the 2 storage tracks on the back side over here. So with that all in mind, we're going to get some track laid tonight. I hope, at least. First things first, though, I do have to do just a little bit of planning here. The idea is that I'm going to try to keep the track, I think I decided 3 inches away from the edge of the layout, and then I'm hoping to kind of, I'm not sure, I may be able to do a little bit of something to keep things from rolling off of it, but I'm hoping 3 inches is going to be enough to keep things safe. But yeah, so I could go to 4, but then I'm kind of, I don't know, I'm kind of taking up precious real estate on the other side of it, I think. Because keep in mind, I do have to have 2 tracks worth here, so that means I'm going to put one at 3 inches and then one at 5. I don't know, what do you guys think? Do you think 3 is far enough from the edge? I do have a little bit of track over in Auburn that's closer even than that to the edge, but it's just for a brief second. So I don't know. What do you think? I think we're good at 3 inches. You know, it's all good track work. It's just going to kind of be like this section here, like right here. It's going to be the only section that's 3 inches away from the edge. So let me know what you think here. Three's good enough, Ted says. All right. Well, I can always also just put it down and then, you know, if I don't like it, change it. All right, so I'm going to trace out 3 inches just by dragging speed square along this edge and having it at 3 inch mark. Oop, I got caught. Come on. Okay. It should be somewhere around there that I'm kind of leaving off with it. Okay, and then, so actually I think I want to have this at 6, the next one, because I want 2 inches of space about between the 2 tracks. So I'm not looking for everything to be perfect. This is just a reference point. I do actually want to be able to see the line though. All right, hopefully you guys can see that too. The lighting on a camera like this basic webcam, not the greatest, that's for sure. So hopefully it's still bright enough for everybody to see. But yeah, that just gives you an idea of kind of where I want track to come off here. Next step is going to be that I want to get my my left-hand turnout in to go into the unloading tracks. So I've got to find the one I'm using here. go. All right, so that's the one I'm gonna use. I do need to flip around the, this thing. I can't ever remember what it's called. Just so that I can actually switch it properly. Just gonna go grab a flathead so that I can do that quickly. Very visible, good. Glad to hear it. Just getting this flipped the other way. Oops. I got these turnouts as freebies from Mr. Rick Rubino out here. And I looked down at the copyright date on them, and 2002 is the year molded down to the bottom of the ties, which is pretty cool. But it does look like I may want to be careful to make sure that these rails actually are engaged. And then I believe I actually want insulated rail joiners on this because I start a new oh my gosh, why am I drawing a blank? A new power district, that's what I'm looking for on this side of Canandaigua. So just give me 1 minute here and I've got to find this is going to work good. Okay, beautiful. See, this is where the siding for the unloading tracks is going to start. I may need to do, we're not going to get the loading tracks in tonight, but I may need to just do a little bit more of gap fill in there in order to make this work. But yeah, I'm happy with how that's looking. So I think we're going to start by getting this track in. It's going to stop about here, and then I've got a turnout to put in right here, and that's going to be where it winds off to go into the warehouse lead. That's going to be probably with a right-hand number 6, which I'm reusing. So I just got to find that here. Perfect. So yeah, actually I may change it to be a little bit further back. Looks like Darren's out there now. Welcome. Look at the curves. So yeah, I think I'm trying to think what the best way to do this is going to be. I've got a track plan, but you know, the track plan is only as good as the bench work, and the bench work on this layout sometimes leaves a little bit to be desired. I do also have, let's see, where is it? Yeah, that's not gonna work. I know I'm purging number 4s off the layout, but no, here's a good number 6 at least. I'll make sure I use this. Okay. So yeah, plan is that the diverging route here is going to go into the warehouse track here. Warehouse is probably going to come out to about here, something like that. And just have a couple of spots inside for different materials needed for the injection molding process. As I've also mentioned previously, the plan with this project is going to be to reuse a lot of older track that just got pulled off when I redid Canandaigua. So just going to kind of, you know, before I get too crazy with inserting things or gluing things down, I'm just going to spend a little bit of time making sure that I'm happy with the way things look. Okay, Darren, listen, I do rip up a lot of track, don't I? But that's also because, you know, maybe I put it down too hastily, so. Oh, that's why I'm having trouble. Still yet to clean off a lot of the feeders that I had on this rail. So. Okay, it's definitely meant to be curved in a manner such as this. I do think at bare minimum I could start gluing from back here. Because it's going to be good to have that down as a reference point at bare minimum. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with the way that's going to end up going, and then I will do my best to first make sure I'm not kinking this rail as I put it down, as apparently it wants to. I need to go in the other way. That sounds like an interesting pop band, Darren. S-curve K-pop. Oh, geez. All right. Well, I think I'm going to go ahead and start to commit to putting some of this down. Starting back here with this number 8 turnout, which should be relatively simple. Oh dear. Oops. Okay. Getting glue everywhere. That's too much glue underneath that, but what are you gonna do? Alright, get this thing tacked down and then we can work off of that as a reference point. These are some interesting band names, guys. Keep them. I gotta hear more here. Keep them coming. Okay, so let's start in on the curve now. Mod Podge is a matte medium, yeah, Scott. Yeah, I'm sure it does, Chris. Welcome in, by the way. Yeah, matte medium is a type of, I mean, yeah, same product, just a little bit cheaper, basically. Nothing too crazy. Okay, I need to trim off some ties to get this to work. And then I'm gonna get a pair of rail joiners. Oh, come on. All right, so big thing I've got to do, because I'm doing a curve straight out of a turnout like this, is make sure that I pin down the edge of the curve so that it doesn't move. And then I can kind of just verify that everything looks good. Should be good to start just kind of tracing things out here. Laying flex track on live stream is a bold move, Denny, but I've got a op session coming with people coming from out of town this Saturday, and I've got to have this done by then. So that means that it was either lay track on live stream or not have a stream, and I chose have a stream and make a fool of myself. And that's okay. All right, so I think I am relatively happy with how this is forming. So what I'm gonna do now is just roughly trace the outline of the track so I know where to put my glue. And then I'm gonna glue it and go from there. Yeah, good news, Darren. This isn't Fremo, so I can do whatever I want. Mwahaha. Okay. All right, so I am relatively happy with that. Let's get some glue down, and we can go from there. We'll get some glue down, we'll get it tacked down, and then that's my rail joiner into the glue. Okay. Doesn't take much of this stuff. Oh, the other thing I need to do is trim off a couple of ties on this side. Hey, I'm just not afraid to mess up on stream. I don't claim to be an expert modeler, nor would I want to be. So that's why I'm brave enough to do things on stream. It's as simple as that. I find that I learn a lot of new things that I wouldn't otherwise learn just by having people out there in the chat that are more experienced than me. So I always appreciate feedback, especially in this sort of format, because the other great thing is when I get the feedback live on air is that I can express, sentiment that I wouldn't be able to through text without it, coming off rudely or vice versa. I can express appreciation, and it's far more genuine when I do. So, all right, so let's work our way down, tacking some track here. Usually I would be far more concerned about the kind of gauge of my track, but I'm just kind of letting the layout kind of dictate to me what needs to be done here. Which is fun. so there's that. Now I have to debate if I really want to bring this number 6 off here or how I want to do this next part of it. Hey Montana Northern, welcome into the stream. Happy to have you. Belle wants to say hi. All right, send her down, Britt. This is perfect. Britt always gives me a hard time because I don't feature the dogs on live stream, but we've actually now got a frame where Belle will show up on camera. Okay, so let's see. What do I want to do next here? I think I almost want to work on... here comes Belle. Gooby, what you got? You can come say hi? You got your chicken? Where are you going? That was it. A very brief cameo for Belle. Okay, so the plan on this side, I've got this kind of nominally, well, maybe I don't really need to add another gap there. But the plan over here is just kind of to, you know, separate a little bit from the right of way here. I may need to add a little bit more cork back here. I can kind of get as close to this backdrop as I really need to, and you know, kind of build a false front building just at whatever depth I need for the background. So I think the plan is going to be, I don't want to go crazy sharp, but I think we're going to do kind of something like that. Curve it away, and then I'm going to go into a right-handed number 6 here, split into 2 tracks that will be the unloading area. Not really looking to have a crazy amount of capacity on the siding. Really just need spots for at least 4 cars, possibly more. Hey, welcome in Southdown. Glad you could make it tonight. Appreciate you being here. Yep. Our dogs have, those are from Costco. Anybody that's got a Costco membership, they have those big chickens that have a rope inside of them and a squeaky ball and far too much stuffing, but I digress. Okay, so the exercise of doing this little piece of track was just to get a better idea of where my 2 tracks are going to end up coming in over here, and I think I'm pretty happy to just kind of, you know what, I can actually, ooh, my cord for the microphone, I'm sorry if that just got really awfully audible. My cord for my microphone got stuck on the clipboard hook. So yeah, maybe I will actually put in this little piece of track back here. I might as well. And then I just need the right track gauge here just to make sure I don't put this curve in too sharply. Let's see. 2630, there we go. All right. And actually, since I've got this track gauge, let's just kind of get a good idea of what this is here. Yeah, so that's good. So this is about 30 right here, which I'm happy with. Awesome. Actually, I just realized I've got to do something real quick here. We're completely isolated over here, but I just realized I still had the layout on. And it shouldn't have been a problem, but let's make sure it doesn't become a problem, right? So I am wearing my safety shoes, Heath, absolutely. This might need just an extra wee bit of spikage. we go. Okay, so I think the plan is I'm just gonna get this little piece of track in and get some ties cut out here. And this, again, is just gonna kind of help me have a better understanding of what needs to happen over here as I go forward. I am learning that this flex track does not appreciate the fact that it's been doubled over being bent. I may need to circle back and just kind of solder that in place to make sure that it stays where it needs to stay. Why didn't I get glue down before I did that? Silly. Radius gauge into the track here. Make sure I don't end up with a gauge outside of that. As I go along here. I do apologize that I'm not able to keep up with chat as well as I normally am tonight. This is obviously not work that lends itself very well to keeping up with you guys, but I can assure you that typically I do like to kind of circle back and check the live stream replay at least once throughout the week, just to make sure I didn't miss anything. So if you're saying something important out there, there's a strong chance I'll see it at some point this week. Don't worry. All right. Wasn't exactly where I needed to be with my glue, but that's no biggie. All right. So how is this looking? I may have gone too light with my glue over here. We may need to redo that. I'm realizing. Not very impressed with that. It is the sticky kind, Heath. It is. And yeah, feel free to make as many stupid comments about my freelance as you want. No problem. Its nickname is Got Wasted today, so it's pretty stupid. Oops, just unplugged my fan. You know what? I think I'll be fine without it. Okay, we're gonna do a couple of things here because I'm not super happy with a few things. Slow and steady progress is definitely the name of the game tonight. Want to make sure that this track is going down properly, that we're going to have nice and reliable track work for operations. So we're going to make sure we do it right as we go here. And to do that, I think I am going to bite the bullet and do a little bit of soldering as I go. So let me just replug in. Oh, the fuming. Yeah. Well, I got the fan going. Well, actually, I'm not going to, but oh well. I've only got one outlet here, so that'll be used over on the workbench, I promise. And I'll open a window, get some airflow going. Actually, if it'll make you guys happier, I can even put on my respirator here. Oops. Quick, somebody give me a quote from N-Scale Dystopia here. What's Denny say? He's always got his gas mask on. What do I do with my applicator? Wearing a respirator on stream sure does make for great content, doesn't it? Oh, you jerk. Slid out on me before I got the solder cooled. Okay, happy with that one. Okay. The power of Crocs. Dark Helmet Jr., yes. Oh, man. Good stuff, guys. Love the nicknames. Okay, that's what I need. I need to put a little bit of weight on this because it's not appreciating me enough. You're staying put as is. Okay, so I'm gonna try to redo this because unfortunately it wasn't behaving. Now that I've got it soldered down at the end, it should be better. All I really want to do is make sure that it's kind of where it needs to be here. Okay, that's going to be where I want it. I can't wait, guys. Like I said, sometimes I unfortunately have to miss the comments, but you guys, every time I look at one, I am cracking up. So hopefully I'm not disappointed when I go back through and watch these. Maybe tomorrow if I have time. Much again. That is the biggest downfall with this method of securing your track. Very easy to go overboard, as is the case down there. Okay, what I am going to do to make sure this stays in the right place. Okay. Appreciate you guys making me laugh tonight too. That's a long day today, so it's nice. It's always nice to have the chance to laugh after a long day. Okay, so I think my plan is going to be to put in, put it in here. Are we going to be okay doing that? I don't know. I think I do actually need just a little bit more track. I got to get the curve a little bit further along. I need it to be like right here, preferably. That's where I want it to be. Well, see, here's the other thing is this is tighter than 30, ultimately. What I can do though Ooh, that one's flying. that's not quite where I want it. So, unfortunately, I need to redo some things back here. I'm definitely getting exposed for how much I fly by the seat of my pants with my track work here, though. That is for sure happening tonight. My favorite plan is to have no plan. She would know. She would know. Yeah, let me just go turn the layout back on, Darren. That's a great idea. What could go wrong? Okay, so here's where we can finally get this to be at the right angle here. There we go. That's where I want that. Now, if I put this in here, how are we looking now? Still not good enough. Okay, no problem. Place. Got a nice short piece of flex that I can reuse here to get me to where I want to be. Go this way. Yes, this way with it. Wide enough for an SD60, yeah. So the tool that I'm using here, the gauge tool, is a 30-inch radius tool. So that'll be my minimum radius coming through here. I did check it back here, a minute ago, just to verify that we were good back there, and it looked like we were. So, okay, let's get this in. I'm gonna get it soldered in as well. Which way do I want to go here? That way. That's funny, Heath. I probably should do that because, I actually, relatively similar and equally as unfortunate story. I did something similar to that. I left these little gauges that I used to make sure my track is a consistent gauge. I left them in when I fired up the layout one time, and I did burn out my original DCC system doing that, unfortunately. Well, not my original. I had a different system that I was using. Okay, I am happy with how that's going to look all the way through here. So all I really need to do is cut things square. This here real quick, and then I'm going to solder my connection over here. Let me go get my brass wool here so that I can make sure that that actually is a clean tip on the soldering iron. anything. And respirator. Looking handsome, like Denny says. Darth Mask Jr., as Chris says. You know, all of the above. I like them. Good. Good there. I'm gonna slide this rail. There we go. Okay, short a rail joiner here. I'm just going to dive straight into this other one before I take the mask off. Shout out to the microphone, indeed, Denny. Hopefully I can just tack this down one place and that'll be good enough. Okay, happy with that. I'll be interested to hear my audio tomorrow when I replay this as well. See how bad it is. Is my breathing really bad? Do I actually sound like Darth Vader? Okay. Whew. Breath of fresh air. Okay. Now, that's interesting. Well, let's see here. What shall I do? Now that I've soldered both ends of this, I obviously lose a lot of my ability to bend it and flex it. So I'm left with a little bit wider of a... That was poor planning. I may need to... Yeah, nope. Well, I I don't need to follow this line all the way over to here. I can kind of start to stray away from it because I've got to come all the way to the back over here anyway. Because the two storage tracks are going to be on the back half of the kind of little jut out over here. So I don't necessarily have to follow this, because if I did, it would end up just about right here. But I think it's still a little bit off from where I would want it. But I don't think by much. I don't think I need to take a ton off of this, but I think I do need to take just a little bit. So on goes the gas mask, and we'll make some modifications. Oh good gosh. Are you kidding me? Through capillary action, the solder had flowed all the way down into the bottom of the rail joiner there. In order to make this work, I need to trim off maybe 1/4 of an inch more of that. Let's see how this is going to go. That's how this is going to go. These rail joiners are going to be shot, right? Okay, that is much closer than to where I want to be. Good news. Definitely have inadvertently picked some of the trickiest track work I've ever done to do on stream. Okay, I think I am happy with that. I am just gonna run over and get my NMRA gauge because I want to make sure that this is good. Actually, I don't need my who needs an NMRA gauge? Yeah, pretty happy with that, for sure. Darren, Rick was around earlier. He might have fallen asleep by now. This isn't riveting enough content for him. Okay, let me get this glued down. How much time? We got 12 more minutes after this. All right, pressure's on. Get out of here in time for Dennis's stream. I don't know. Let's test run a car over that. I can't tell. I don't think it's kinked, but I just want to be sure. I just inadvertently picked up one of the most troubled cars I have, so hopefully we're okay. Okay. It's going through it smooth, but man, I don't know. I think this one might be still a little long. Yeah, I guess you should set up your stream, Dennis. Jeez, you slacker. Okay, I should just leave this dang thing on. Okay. Now, I think I just need to take a microscopic piece of track off this piece of flex. Oh, Belle's coming to say hi again. What are you doing? Hi. What you doing? Hi. Oh, careful, that's on. Okay, go away. Okay, bye. Go get Mom. Where's Mom? Oh man, I'm gonna make a mess of this. There you go. Okay, so let's see if we can manage not to kink this time. Okay, I'm pretty happy with how that's looking. Yep, that's it, right there. Okay, third time's the charm. Come on, that just moved on me. You gotta be kidding me. There we go. Okay. Maybe I've even stalled long enough that I can get another piece of track in here. Okay, I'm calling that good enough. I think I'm happy with it. I hope I'm happy with it. Nope. Ah, sorry guys. I think it shifted on me. Hopefully this is just a quick adjustment here. Maybe I need to make sure that outer rail is what's soldered first. Maybe that's going to be enough. Pushing back to 9:15. All right, Dennis. Yeah, I can't get this to not be kinked, which I'm not overjoyed about. Ooh, that's fun. Oh, sorry, I'm not talking too much here, guys. Just trying to figure out how to get this to not look kinked. Okay. Calling that good. Happy with it. If I can find my NMRA gauge, I'll double check it. Yeah, about that. I don't know, guys. Maybe I need to restart on this, unfortunately. But I can use the force, yeah. My track looks curved. Well, that's, I mean, that would alarm me if it wasn't supposed to look curved. What's alarming me right now is the fact that it looks kinked, which is a bit problematic. I may need to not bore you guys with the rest of this trying to get it figured out. So, well, I do appreciate everybody tuning in. It's been an interesting stream, that's for sure. I had hoped to have a little bit more track down than this, but oh well. Anyway, thanks for tuning in, guys. I'm gonna cut it here just so that I can make sure that this is done right, because you know that's the most important thing here. You know, me fumbling around with track work is always good content, but do want to make sure it's done properly. So again, thanks for tuning in, guys. Really appreciate you being here. I'll take care of that kink, and we'll make sure that this track work is nice and solid before ops start on Sunday this week. So, all right, take care, everybody. Be sure to check out Dennis's stream. He looks like he's going to go at 9:15 tonight. So be sure to check him out. And again, congratulations to him as well on his well-deserved award at the Northeast Region NMRA Convention. Take care, guys.